Welcome to a historic day in Ultimate here in Portland, Maine, as Portland Rising takes on New York Gridlock in their first ever game in the Premier Ultimate League. Thanks for joining us in the Portland Rising YouTube page. I'm Ross Ketchke. I'll be taking you through tonight's exciting matchup and what a road it's been to get here. What would have been an inaugural season derailed by the COVID-19 moving up the right side of the field. Another shot up the sideline for Portland. Very difficult to move the Frisbee up the field on the sideline, and that's why they swing it to the opposite field. This opens up the entire Portland, initiating a lot of the offense out of the handler movement. A big layout grab there for Portland, keeping their offense alive. Another layout grab for Portland. That is number 27. Sarah S.J. Judd. Rachel Nassa Kramer with the disc right now. A reset to the handler, a big swing. Not quite in the end zone yet. Portland takes a shot at the goal. To Caitlin O'Connell with a score for Portland. They take the lead 2-1 here. You can feel the excitement in each point for these players. They've been working for months up until this moment, but also not letting that excitement get ahead of them. We've seen some very calm, well-executed offense, as well as some hard defense from these players, definitely not letting the moment shake them out of playing their game. Rising taking a moment near their end zone right now, calling a line, collecting their thoughts ahead of this next point. They have a 2-1 lead in their inaugural game against New York Gridlock here in Portland, Maine.
I'm on Josh. Come to Josh. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is
Portland's number 6, Chloe Roas, has the disc set to pull to New York. Waiting for a hand from the other side. There it is from New York. And there goes the pull, a high arching pull. Curving back down towards the shot downfield. Curving towards the away sideline right now. A 50-50 ball in the air. And that's deed away. The disc belongs to Portland once again. A chance to go up 3-1. Grab for Portland. Number 55, Sophie Knowles, holds on to that one. Continues to advance the disc up the field. Of play. Another strike cut for Portland.
Thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate it.
We've seen both teams with some very patient offense here tonight. A shot at the end zone for Portland. The disc hanging up, a 50-50 ball, and it's swatted away by the defense. That's number 12, the captain, Amy Zoe, getting the big D for New York to keep this game tied up at 2 apiece.
All right, and coming back to Josh. And Josh, you're live.
A good look at the end zone for Portland. New York picks up on offense now. They've got to march that disc all the way downfield, and a good start to do it there. A call on the field. Looks like the players agree that New York lost the disc, so no infraction called. Portland picks it up, takes over on offense. Another shot at the end zone for Rising. Just out of the fingertips of Portland, New York looking to take over, capitalize on yet another turnover. A shot downfield for New York. Capitalizing on that opportunity, now just about 30 yards away from their goal. New York strikes towards the end zone. They're on the doorstep, looking to take the lead here. The disc caught in the end zone. The players looking to decide whether or not New York's feet were in the end zone. That was number 3, Abby Chang on that cut. Looks like the players agree that New York's feet were out. Portland picks up on offense. Disc going the other way, and a long way to march that disc back down the field to try to punch it home into the end zone. 4.5 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. Portland swings it back into their own end zone to center it into the field. A big layout grab for Portland. Incredible grab.
That was a great grab. Let's see if I
Number 55, the captain, Caitlin O'Connell, on that big layout grab. A call on the field. A violation called. Now the players here have 10 seconds to talk it out. From there, the observer steps in, which it looks like the observer is stepping in to help them work through exactly what that infraction may have been. Disc tapped back into play. Portland, another impressive grab, punching it up the line. Portland marching the disc down the field. Looking to the middle now. Portland taking a shot at the end zone. That throw will be long. New York will pick it up. These points can be long and grueling, but it's exactly what these athletes train for. Number 4 to start the offense, that's Stacey Changinelli. And that's a timeout from New York. A minute and a half timeout for these teams. A 3-minute timeout for these teams. Nope, it is a minute and a half. A brief moment to regroup. Figure out how to get some offense going. Both teams getting really great looks at the end zone so far. The offense has been overall patient. We've also seen some really incredible layout grabs from both teams. Everyone really looking to show out here in the inaugural game of Portland Rising. And you're watching here on the Portland Rising YouTube channel. Let's take a moment to thank some of our Portland Rising sponsors. Girl Scouts of Maine is beyond proud to support Portland Rising. Before they were Ultimate Legends, many team members were Girl Scouts, and they are the groundbreaking role models that girls need today. Girl Scouts of Maine builds girls' courage, confidence, and character, the kind of girls who make the world a better place. Girls as in go-getters, dream chasers, and airbenders. Girls as in Girl Scouts. Be your boldest, brightest self with us. Join or volunteer today at www.girlscoutsofmaine.org. All right, play is back here in New York on their own goal line, looking to get some kind of offense going. The disc centered back between the handlers. A shot upfield for New York. Towing the line. New York stays in. A great opportunity to score here and take the lead. It's 2-2 right now with about 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. New York taking a shot to the end zone, and scoring is number 41, Martha Gregory for New York. A call on the field, that one's coming back. Wipe that score off the board. New York will get another shot at the end zone. A pick was called. The disc centered back, swung to the opposite side of the field, and New York taking that opportunity to score there. That is the captain, Tulsa Douglas, scoring for New York Gridlock. They take the lead 3-2 over Portland. Another proud supporter of Portland Rising, Kalo. Kalo is a full-spectrum, water-soluble, hemp-infused seltzer. No impurities, preservatives, artificial flavors, or filters. Harnessing the full power of the hemp plant to bring you 8 carefully crafted flavors that taste good, feel good, and are good for you. Thank you, Kalo, for supporting Pro Ultimate here in Portland, Maine. New York set to pull to Portland. Portland getting a chance to start on offense and march the disc down the field and tie this game up at 3. Just about 2 minutes, 19 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now, the exact ins and outs of the Premier Ultimate League may be a little bit new to even the more seasoned Ultimate players. That clock is only going to stop during long pauses or whenever the disc is scored. So on things like foul calls or pick calls, it will keep running until we get a signal from the observer. Portland stopping the Blady pull, getting a big chance here with lots of open field space to score. They're taking a look at the end zone right now, and a big sky there for Portland. Tying that game up, number 16, Aaron Ray, with the huge jump to pull that disc down and tie this game up at 3 apiece. Take another look at this. The incredible coming from number 7, the captain, Alex Odie. They've got some of the best throws that you will see in the Premier Ultimate League. Game now tied at 3 apiece. We want to recognize another supporter of Pro Ultimate here in Maine, Maine Movement. Maine Movement has been with Rising every step of the way, from providing at-home workouts during COVID-19 to chilly parking lot sessions in March and the best warm-ups a team could ask for. Jared's energy and enthusiasm make 6 a.m. workout sessions totally worth it, and we're very fortunate to have Jared and Jesse as part of the Rising community. New York on offense here after the pull from Portland. A quick look towards the middle to reset that stall count. Players have 10 seconds to get rid of the disc. New York on the force sideline, looking to work it back into the middle to open up their offense a bit, and they have plenty of space to do just that. About 2 minutes left to play. A minute 30. New York takes a shot towards the end zone to a wide open number 41, Martha Gregory. Her second goal in a row for New York Gridlock. A miscommunication there on the defensive end for Portland. Martha Gregory finds herself with no one within 15 yards of her for an easy point for New York. Field to their end zone right now. New York doing a good job of denying some of those bigger shots down the field. A call on the field. And again, the players will talk it out themselves. They have 10 seconds to do so and come to a resolution before the observer will step in. For those of you who are newer to the sport of Ultimate, it is mainly self-officiated. Unlike other sports that may have a referee who will be totally in charge of the game, Ultimate prides itself on being a self-officiated sport. A big shot downfield, the layout falling just short for Rising. New York picks it up just in front of their own end zone on the corner. Centering back to the middle of the field now, New York's got a chance to go up 5-3 on this possession. New York advancing the disc upfield. Plenty of space to go. Portland trying to force them towards their away sideline. The disc getting away from New York, but an enormous layout grab from number 5, Lindsay McKenna. She has been all over the offense for New York this evening. New York looking to punch it in. The lefty throw and the layout grab for the score. That's number 7, Luisa Neves. There's a call on the field. That one may be coming back. Players working it out right now, and it will go back. A highlight play, but wipe it off the board. Players tapping the disc back in. New York looking to punch it back into their end zone. New York looking at a shot to the end zone. They're right on the doorstep right now. Portland playing some great defense. And a big layout grab from New York's number 3, Abby Chang. Abby Chang and Lindsay McKenna have been all over the offensive side of the disc for New York through this first quarter. And the clock expiring during that point, we will now head to a break after the first quarter. New York leads this one 5-3 over Portland Rising as we head into the second quarter. Join Rush 35 free of charge for monthly parties to meet other theater enthusiasts with $15 show tickets to its main stage season. Portland Stage is a proud supporter of Portland Rising and its commitment and vision to honor the whole person and the desire to elevate our community together. Learn more at portlandstage.org.
So there's just no game action right now because it's the quarter break. They're going to come back. They've got about a minute left. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with the stream. Maybe it's finally working. It's just...
Let's take a moment to thank another one of our Rising partners, LL Bean. The folks at LL Bean believe that the more time you spend outside together, the better. That's why they design products like the Rising Team Adventure Duffel Bag that make it easier to take longer walks, have deeper talks, and never worry about the weather. It's like LL Bean's founder, Leon Leonwood, always said, being outside brings out the best in us. Thank you to LL Bean for your support. Portland Rising would also like to thank Layout Gloves. Layout Ultimate Gloves are the official gloves of the PUL and Portland Rising. Layout Gloves provide unmatched grip and performance to up your game. Grab your pair of gloves at layoutultimate.com.
All right, coming to Andrew, and Andrew, you're live.
All right, we're getting ready for some second quarter action here. Right now, New York leads Portland Rising 5-3. Portland set to pull to New York. New York's got the chance to go up 6-3 on this possession. The pull heading down the field towards New York now. Their offense has been smooth all night, but Portland certainly has not been making it easy on them, smothering defense at moments from both sides. A break throw for New York, advancing it up the field. And a call on the field, players communicating to work through that violation. A pick called. All right, stall coming in on 0 for New York as they reset back to a handler. Another reset for New York. Portland forcing them to the flick side of the field. Great defense from Portland. A shot downfield for New York right now. Going up and challenging in the air is Portland's number 44, Adele Pitsis. A big D for her, now giving Portland the chance to take over on offense, march down the field, and climb within just one score of New York. All right, Portland taking a short shot upfield right now. A quick continuation as they move it up the sideline. That one gets away from Portland. A turnover. New York will pick up the disc and take over. New York works it up towards the middle at just about center field. A big swing around for a gain of yards. New York takes another shot up the sideline. Portland's defense has done a pretty good job overall of keeping New York to the far side, making it much more difficult for them to initiate their offense. New York swinging it back to the middle. They're looking for the break side. New York now on the doorstep, looking to go up 6-3, and they do. For New York, that is number 21, Linda Morse. Her first goal of the night. New York spreading the wealth on offense so far. We've seen goals from Lindsay McKenna as well as Abby Chang. The two of them have had their fingerprints all over New York's offense up until this point. You can see there on the replay. The hard cut towards the strike side corner. New York now up 6-3 here in the second quarter in this inaugural Portland Rising game in the Premier Ultimate League. 10 minutes left in the second quarter right now. Portland waiting to receive on the far side. Not a terribly hot night in Portland right now, but certainly humid. A lot for these players to be playing through right now. Not a lot of wind coming from either direction either, although that certainly makes the offense exciting. That pull floating down just past the center of the field right now as Portland picks up and goes back on offense, looking to make this a 6-4 game. Portland looking upfield in the first throw of this offensive point. To the sideline now. Portland works things back towards the center and another strike upfield. A reset back to the middle for Rising as they inch closer to the end zone on this point. Now about 15 yards out from their own end zone. looking to score, make this 6-3, 6-4. Rising, a big hammer shot to the end zone, and an incredible layout grab. What an unbelievable catch. That is number 33, Yoga Shao. Yoga Shao, the incredible layout grab from the hammer throw on the break side to make this a 6-4 game. That's the first time in a few points also that Portland has been able to get a clean offensive point downfield, no turnovers. Watch this incredible hammer throw also. That's coming from number 26, Rachel Westgate, floating all the way to the break side and the full extension layout. Absolutely incredible, an electric score that really got this crowd in Portland, Maine fired up.
Great job, guys. Great job. Great job. Josh, can you drop an ND filter, please? Yeah, that's good.
We'd like to take a moment to thank another one of Rising's partners, Martins Point Healthcare. Martins Point Care is a non-for-profit organization serving our community's healthcare needs with the highest quality care and coverage. Martins Point Healthcare centers are located throughout southern Maine and Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Martins Point proudly supports Portland Rising and their mission to work in partnership with our community to rise together. Learn more by visiting martinspoint.org. New York picks up on offense here. Right now they hold the 6-4 lead, swinging things to the sideline after one of the best offensive points we've seen from Portland all night. New York moving things back towards the center now.
Yeah, you could be a little wider, Andrew.
New York taking advantage of the big swing to the break side. Another shot to the middle. Looking towards the end zone now. About 20 yards out. A reset to the break side. New York now on the doorstep. And a close attempt at a diving deep, but New York scores. That's number 41, Martha Gregory for New York, catching that score in the end zone.
Coming to Andrew. Andrew, you're live.
About 8 minutes left here in the second quarter. 7-4 New York right now. We've seen some really incredible offense so far in this one. Textbook high IQ offense from New York. Some incredible highlight plays from both sides of the disc as well. Here on the replay, you can see the continuation going from New York's 44, who is Raha Mozaffari, finding 41 Martha Gregory in the end zone. This game meaning so much to the players of Portland Rising. They've been working for months. Of course, their inaugural season somewhat derailed by the COVID-19 pandemic, but that didn't stop them. Months of working behind the scenes, finally able to come back together, get a roster together. They've all been working towards this moment. New York on the pull now. Portland set to receive and get back on offense. 7-4 right now, New York Gridlock. Rising, moving the Frisbee up the field on offense. New York with Portland with a shot up the middle. Portland looking to the end zone now, but a big D from New York, stopping them at the door. Right now, number 5, Lindsay McKenna taking a shot downfield, but a big D from Portland turns things back around. They've got another chance to punch it back into the end zone. A break side throw for Portland. Portland about 20 yards out from their own end zone. A strike cut up the field, not quite in, just on the doorstep. Portland's looking to punch it in right now, make it a 7-5 game. A reset to a handler. And a cut right into the corner of the end zone. That's number 42, Lizzie Laurie, her second goal of the evening. Right now, New York Gridlock 7, Portland Rising 5. About 7 minutes left to play here in the second quarter of action.
We're just going to do one angle, come into replay, and
You can feel the excitement from the crowd in each and every point that they are on the field. The Portland community has embraced Ultimate for decades, and having a professional team here now really was only the next logical step in what has just been some incredible teams, individual players at the college and club level coming out of this part of the country. And the representation that Portland Rising is bringing, really just another next logical step and a fantastic step forward in the growth of the game of Ultimate here in the Northeast and all around the country. Taking another moment to recognize one of our partners, Main Movement. Main Movement has been integral to Rising since day one and has pivoted to adapt their ever-shifting landscape of trading during the past year and a half throughout the pandemic through crafting adaptable strength and conditioning programming, sharing cutting-edge information and practices, providing sports massage and bodywork for the players, and leading the team through their on-field warm-ups. Main Movement has elevated what it looks like to train as for Rising, and all this with the best sound effects in the business, so thank you to Main Movement. New York picking up here on offense. That pull going out of bounds, so New York will bring it to the center of the field.
go ahead and frame up your shot, Josh. I'm on Andrew. Oh, no, it's to the right. It's to the right, Josh. It's to the right. It's to the right. All right, coming to Josh. Josh, you're live. Thanks for...
New York inching things up the sideline right now. Just at about midfield. New York getting closer to their end zone. They're back on the doorstep now. Looking up line.
There it is.
And that is number 28 for New York, Angela Zhu, scoring
Andrew
for New York
live.
Gridlock.
Try and get a replay here. Try and get a replay.
The handler able to shake off the defender there, create some space to make that tight throw. When you're that close to the sideline, not a lot of room to make that throw. That's number 6, Janie Hivalti, on that little shimmy shake to create some space for that throw for New York. They go up 8-5 with about 6 minutes, 23 seconds left here in the second quarter of action in the inaugural game for Portland Rising Professional Ultimate here in Portland, Maine.
Rising line. All right.
And this broadcast is brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream sponsor of the Premier Ultimate League.
Coming back to Josh. Josh is live.
And a bladey throw down the field, now rolling towards Portland.
That's a good one.
Portland set to pick up on offense.
All right, Josh is live.
They'll reset to the center of the field. Portland looking to attack here. That throw falling just out of the hands of number 33, Hugo Zal.
Stand, Josh. Josh,
New York picks up on offense now.
yeah, there you go.
New York looking to the center of the field, trying to create some more room for their offense. A pause in play, a violation called.
Andrew live. Andrew's live.
A timeout's called. Players taking a quick breather.
Josh, it's a timeout. So
That timeout called by New York.
let's see. So that is a away timeout.
Each team taking a moment to catch their breath, recalibrate their offense and defensive strategies. Right now, Gridlock's had a fantastic offensive showing so far in the first half. Portland's done a pretty good job of maintaining their offense as well. Some calm shots upfield. Balanced offense coming from Portland Rising as well.
No, just frame up for the, yeah.
And we want to take a moment to thank one of Portland Rising's partners, Acaupo. Designer Ebenezer Acaupo uses traditional designs in his heritage-based designs to create pieces of art that carry personal and cultural promises to promote social justice. Ebenezer has created a custom Rising design feature and the symbol for endurance and perseverance. Check it out in the gorgeous water bottles at the Rising merch tent, or see more of Ebenezer's work at akakpo.com. That's akakpo.com. If you have a story, wear it. Back in action here with Portland on offense. New York on offense. and a big shot downfield hanging up over the end zone. The Big D getting battered around. Number 27 for Portland, that is Sarah S.J. Judd, coming up big, preventing New York from going up what would have been 9-5. That disc hanging overhead for a little while, giving her just enough time to close in and make a play. Portland takes over on offense. A shot at the sideline. Number 24 for Portland, making a nice layout catch. That's Rachel Nassa Kramer. A big around throw will fall just short, and that's another turnover for Portland Rising. New York Gridlock picks up. Will now have to march all the way down the field to try again. New York looks around and another swing again to the far side. That one close to the out of bounds. Looks like that is going to be out of bounds. Another turnover. A long point here. Trading good offense and good defense. And a round throw for Portland to get it off the sideline. Rising resets again. A big layout grab from number 32. That's Yuji Zhao. And another turnover for Portland. New York picks it up. Got to be a tiring point for these players. New York swings it to the sideline at about center field. Good defense from Portland, taking away the strike cut. The reset for New York. New York takes another shot to the end zone, hanging out there, but a little too far for New York's number 20, Karen Califf. Portland making their way to the disc. They'll pick up on offense and try to march it all the way back down the field. About 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the second quarter of play in the inaugural game for Portland Rising here in Portland, Maine. And another timeout, the second one of this point for these players.
Come back to Andrew. Andrew, you're live. Follow just any person.
A chance now to recalibrate a little bit. Both teams have had great looks at the end zone. No one able to capitalize, though. A combination of some missed opportunities for offense and some spectacular defense from both teams. Let's take a moment to thank one of our Rising partners, Beyond Strength. Beyond Strength is Rising's home gym and Maine's premier physical fitness center, offering everything from athletic training to injury rehab, boot camps, and more. Beyond Strength also provides Rising's athletic training services, taking care of our athletes on and off the field. Pete is very passionate about his work, which is evident in the amount of time he spends and energy he puts in to ensuring each and every Rising player is at their best. His efficient assessment and in-the-moment consulting and adjustments, as well as his support, have been crucial for the on-field performance and injury management and prevention. Thank you to Beyond Strength for your support. Players getting back in possession to restart this point. Portland taking over on offense at their own goal line. Now have to march things all the way down the field to try to punch it in to score. New York's got the advantage 8-5. 2 minutes, 8 seconds left in the second quarter of play. A big shot downfield for Portland Rising, tracking the disc, and she gets there. Number 16, Aaron Ray, and another big layout. That's number 19, Olivia Hampton, keeping things alive for Rising. Looks like a pick called off the disc. Still Portland's possession. They'll look to punch it into the end zone here after a couple of absolutely incredible layout catches. Rising looks back into the end zone. An amazing layout grab. Just on the doorstep now, looking to put it home. The little lefty flip into the end zone. Portland scores. Number 33, Yuga Shao, scoring for Portland Rising. That throw coming from number 42, Lizzie Laurie. Lizzie Laurie's been a big part of the offense here in the inaugural game for Rising. She's caught a few in the end zone and helped find her teammates in the end zone as well. Look at that layout grab. Lizzie Laurie, watch her. She uses the offhand here. She normally throws right-handed, but she uses the left to find her teammate cutting through the end zone. It's 6-8 right now, New York. A minute and 21 seconds left here until the half.
Still on Andrew. Still on Andrew. All right. Josh, yeah, we'll come to you. And Josh, you're live. Josh is live. It starts on the patch here, right?
Portland now set to pull to New York, and here it comes. New York looking to answer on offense now. That was a long point, so a fresh 7 for both teams. New York looking for the handle to reset. They do find some space upfield, and a shot downfield now, curving back into the end zone. That is number 21, Linda Morse, in for another score. Her second of the evening. Right now, 9-6 New York, just about 1 minute to play in the half. After the longest point of the night we've seen so far, perhaps the shortest point of the night, as New York gets a fantastic look downfield. That throw coming from number 14 and the captain of New York Gridlock, Tulsa Douglas. Finding one of their favorite offensive targets in the end zone there, number 21, Linda Morse. Right now, number 5, Lindsay McKenna is set to pull. Portland waiting on the far side to receive. Might be able to hear that in the background a little bit. Lots of fun being had in the fans section here. Of course, these fans not just coming from Portland as well. Members of this Portland Rising team coming from all over New England. Some decorated club team players. People on this team have just absolutely incredible collegiate careers under their belts as well. A close play there for Portland, but they keep the disc alive. Faking the throw downfield. Now a close play on the sideline. New York comes up with the interception going the other way. New York looking to extend their lead. The flip back to the middle for the Gridlock.
Good job, guys.
Portland Rising forcing New York to their backhand throw side. New York on their own sideline, about 25 yards out from the end zone.
Great framing, Josh.
Taking a look at the end zone, and that throw will fall a bit short. And there is a call on the play. That one may be coming back.
Yeah, Andrew coming to Andrew.
The player's talking it over right now. And again, those folks on the sideline, you see in 10 seconds if the players cannot come to an agreement on exactly what happened. Looks like no violation. Portland will pick up and look to march it back down the field and make this a 7-9 game. And time has expired here in the second quarter of play. That means at the end of this point, we will go to half. New York getting a big D. There is a call, though. No call. That's a Callahan. The big D and the Callahan coming up for New York to extend their lead to 10. The big defensive play for New York, stuffing Portland on their own line and making that interception within their own end zone to take the score. We now go to half, 9-6, New York Gridlock. 10-6, New York Gridlock after that Callahan. We'll be back after a few short messages to pick up in the second half of action here. Right now it's New York Gridlock 10 and Portland Rising 6.
Onto the field. Yeah.
So, yeah, did you get all
Did you get that?
I'm Kate Cole, number 5.
I'm Kelly Kerwin, number 8. What's your best dance move?
I don't have one.
Oh my god, we gotta get you. I know. I like to I get in this good lunge position, and then it's just a casual rock. You just rock it out, little dance move. What am I bringing on game day? I am bringing energy, enthusiasm, I'm bringing spirit, just getting my mind into the game and focusing on my teammates. And that's how we do it. Is that
I'm bringing good vibes.
Yeah.
I'm bringing support for my amazing teammates, and I'm bringing the best fans in the world, my family, home state pride.
Oh my god, I forgot my family, but Mom, Dad, I was bringing you too.
My role model is my mom. She's a teacher, just like Kelly, and she won the first marathon she ever ran.
Oh, that is awesome. I would say my role models, very similar. I'm actually going to shout out my parents for this one, both my mom and dad. Amazing individuals, hardworking, and I feel like that's where I get my drive from. So those are my role models. I love them.
Is my dog gonna feel left out?
I know, like my husband? Can I? Bailey Kerwin, you too!
We're gonna crush this. Maybe be awkward the whole time.
I'm Kate Powers, number 3.
I'm Emily Posey, number 40.
On game day, I'm bringing just a whole lot of fire and energy, so excited, honestly, mostly just for this team and for my teammates. I think just gosh, there's so much hype. That's what I'm bringing. I'm just gonna say you.
I was gonna say you.
All right, great. So I'd say one of my role models is Emily Posey, because I always kind of wished that I played Ultimate growing up, and I did not, and seeing what it's like to be with somebody who grew up playing and loving this sport, knowing it inside out, just seeing what it's like for somebody to have true muscle memory for everything that it is to play Ultimate is so incredible to be on the field with. And also, man, I just love how she's willing to take risks and be bold on the field. You would never know that she's usually the youngest person. It's fucking incredible.
Same goes to you. Kate would be my role model because she's so as a person, you're just so fun to be around, but you can also have these important, serious conversations. And I feel like no one else has that balance. That's a hard landing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a dream come true because I don't know if I ever dreamed this was possible.
1, 2, 3, let's rise!
If you could build a team, how would you build it? What's the tone you would set? And that's what we get to do. And that's a privilege and an honor to ride that.
So we have 115 athletes from Maine, New England, Syracuse, Nova Scotia, and we get to put it all together today. This thing did not exist 2 months ago, and now there are some people down there who are going to be professional athletes very soon.
Just by showing up today, walking onto this field, you've started building this community.
And there's a lot of responsibility in that, and being intentional about what values we're putting into the groundwork of the team.
This is just a piece of history. It's a history for Maine and women's sports. It's history for women's ultimate in the Northeast and all around the world.
We're looking to start the season, start the team. This is the first day of Portland Rising, and we are so excited for that. We're also looking to showcase individual players and what they can do and what they can bring to the team.
I'm just excited. I mean, it's just a really exciting day, and it's going to be a really exciting few weekends in a row to see what people can bring and see how each player can uplift each other.
Today really sets the tone for the season. We are so excited to see this team rise, and that rise begins right now.
I don't even know if it's a dream come true because I don't know if I ever dreamed this was possible.
1, 2, 3, let's rise!
If you could build a team, how would you build it? What's the tone you would set? And that's what we get to do. And that's a privilege and an honor to ride that.
So we have 115 athletes from Maine, New England, Syracuse, Nova Scotia, and we get to there are some people down there who are going to be professional athletes very soon.
Just by showing up today, walking onto this field, you've started building this community.
And there's a lot of responsibility in that and being intentional about what values we're putting into the groundwork of the team.
This is just a piece of history. It's a history for Maine and women's sports. It's history for women's ultimate in the Northeast and all around the world.
We're looking to start the season, start the team. This is the first day of Portland Rising, and we are so excited for that. We're also looking to showcase individual players and what they can do and what they can bring to the team.
I'm just excited. I mean, it's just a really exciting day, and it's going to be a really exciting few weekends in a row to see what people can bring and see how each player can uplift each other.
Today really sets the tone for the season. We are so excited to see this team rise, and that rise begins right now.
And welcome back to this matchup here in the Premier Ultimate League. Portland Rising taking on the New York Gridlock. A quick correction. We had thought that last half ended with a Callahan play, but the disc was dead at the turnover. So right now, New York leads Portland 6-9 heading into the second action of play.
Opponents. I've met my share of them.
I've gone up against thousands.
And if you want to beat them, you can't just sit on the sidelines.
You need to do what it takes to come out on top.
This virus is the opponent we're all up against.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
It's effective and can protect you and the people you care about.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves and let's get to the finish line together.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work and determination to earn respect. Sometimes it takes decades. And it always takes someone being on your side. Because true greatness doesn't just happen.
And we're back here at Memorial Stadium in Portland, Maine for the second half of action between New York Gridlock and Portland Rising. It's Portland Rising's inaugural game here in the Premier Ultimate League as we get ready to head into the second half of play. 12 minutes on the clock for the third quarter. New York leads 9-6. We saw some very exciting plays in the first half from both teams. Layout catches, big skies in the end zone, expecting nothing but some more of that on the way for the second half. New York in their away whites, Portland in their home darks for this one. And the Portland community out in force to support National Ultimate Team, Portland Rising. New York with the pull down to Portland, now set to pick up on offense and look to close this gap. And it can happen quick. Portland with three handlers back. finding some space in the middle to gain yards, quickly marching up the field on the first point of this half, and already a shot to the end zone. It'll be a 50-50 disc. New York able to tap that out of the back of the end zone. That D coming from New York's Karen Chaliff. Stacey Tangdrilli will pick it up and advance a disc for Portland for New York. New York working it up the sideline now. A call on the field. Tapped back in right away. New York with a break side throw. Right now, number 3, Abby Chang. She's been a big part of their offense up until this point tonight. And a sliding catch for New York to keep the possession alive. They're marching upfield now, closing in on their end zone. Number 1, Cami Grew moving it up to number 3, Abby Chang, as New York swings it back to the middle and now to the far sideline, looking for some space to punch it into the end zone and extend their lead. Looks like a pick may have been called on the field. Number 12, the captain, Amy Zoe, sending it. Amy Zoe sending it back. A pick called. New York taking another shot to the end zone, just missing there. Was looking to connect with the captain, Amy Zoe. Floating just above her head, Portland picks up and will now try to march it down the entire length of the field to close the gap. A big layout grab for Portland, keeping the possession alive. That was number 42, Lizzie Laurie. Portland swinging it to the far sideline now and taking a shot up the sideline as they approach center field. Working it back to the middle now, trying to create some more space for their offense.
There you go. There it is. All right, coming to Andrew. Andrew, you're live.
A call on the field right now, number 5, Catherine Cole. Her teammates call her K. Cole. Portland inching up the sideline right now. And another pause in play, perhaps another pick called. That one's going to go back. So for those who may be new to the game of Ultimate, it's self-officiated. Those folks you see in the green shirts on the sidelines, they're not referees. They're observers, and they're only there to help mediate if the players on the field can't come to an agreement. And Portland takes a huge shot downfield to find the end zone. That's number 55, Sophie Nolis. That's Nolis' first score of the game, closing that gap within 2. New York now leads 9-7 early on in third quarter play. That throw coming from number 5, Catherine Cole, finding Sophie Nolis in the end zone. A highlight play to kick off the offense for Portland here in the third quarter. We want to recognize some of our rising partners right now. LB Kitchen is a fast casual restaurant serving healthy and progressive breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. What we choose to eat matters, and it fuels our high performance as athletes and as just people in everyday life. As a women-owned and operated business, LB Kitchen is proud to support Portland Rising as fellow athletes and female entrepreneurs. You can find LB Kitchen at 249 Congress Street in downtown Portland or online at lbkitchenportlandme.com. Portland pulling to New York right now. New York in their away whites. Portland Rising wearing their home darks. New York taking a shot from center field down towards the end zone, but nobody's home. Rising will pick it up close to their own end zone. A long way to go to score, but we've seen them make that trip plenty of times tonight.
Josh, you're live. Good job. And Andrew, can you do the same thing real quick?
Portland looking for some cuts from downfield. Not a lot home right now. New York doing a very good job taking away their first and second options.
There you go. Awesome. Good work.
A reset closer to the sideline for Portland right now. And another swing back to the middle. A shot upfield for Portland. And the big D for number 44 in New York. That's Raha Mozafari. She's been making her mark on both sides of the disc tonight, offense and defense. New York with the disc on the four-side sideline right now, looking to create a little bit more space to get their offense going. A big sweeping around throw towards the middle, and a violation called on the field. That one may be heading back. The player's talking it through right now. And just a reminder, this broadcast is brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream partner of the Premier Ultimate League. Right now, New York has it at center field. And a big layout D for Portland. That's number 3 and the captain, Kate K-Pow Powers. Portland now looking to capitalize, just missing on the big layout. Number 23, Emily Bacher, going full extension, but coming up just short of bringing that one home. New York picks it up. Now marching back towards their end zone. A break side throw, finding space, just squeezing into the end zone. That one may be coming back, though. That would have been yet another score tonight for Linda Morse of New York, really making her mark on this game. But a pick was called back down the field, so that one's going to be heading back. It'll remain New York's disc, though. They'll get another shot at the end zone. And a timeout's called on the field right now. Let's take another moment to thank some of our rising partners. Sisters Gourmet Deli is the official sandwich provider for our teams competing today. Located in Monument Square, Portland, and Vine Street in Bath, Sisters serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they use all fresh, local ingredients in their food. Eat in or take out, and delivery is available. Special deals for rising fans. Take a screenshot of your ticket from any game you go to and bring it into Sisters this week for $5 off your purchase. Another rising partner we'd like to thank, Sawyer Island Consulting. At Sawyer Island Consulting, we have a passion for people and impactful relationships. We engage with our partners through guidance, investment, and collaboration. Portland Rising and their mission to work in partnership with the community to dream big and rise together is a perfect example of the way that talented, inspiring entrepreneurs that we love to support. Our current focus in projects in Maine also include Kalo, Summer Spring Water, and Opportunity Box. Thank you to Sawyer Island Consulting for your support. All right, looks like they've gotten things sorted out after that timeout. New York on offense at just about the center field mark, close to the four-side sideline. They punch it back up the sideline, closing the gap to the end zone just a little bit. A reset towards the middle, a big sweeping around throw. New York able to manage, holding on to that one despite some tight defense from Rising. Gridlock looking to extend their lead right now. Some handler action upfield, a break side throw now back to the center. Portland doing a great job shutting the door to the end zone, though. That one just squeaking in there for a goal for New York. Number 14 and the captain, Tulsa Douglas, happening on that one. The captain, Douglas, making her mark on this game, especially here in the second half. She had a few Ds that last point, and eventually finding the end zone.
Same line. Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant. Yes.
Another one of Rising partners, Girl Scouts of Maine. Girl Scouts of Maine is beyond proud to support Portland Rising. Before they were ultimate legends, many team members you see on the field here tonight were Girl Scouts themselves, and now they're groundbreaking role models that girls need today. Girl Scouts of Maine builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Girls as in go-getters, dream chasers, and airbenders. Girls as in Girl Scouts. Be your boldest, brightest self with us. Join or volunteer today. You can find more information at www.girlscoutsofmaine.org.
And Josh, you can get a little wider.
New York now set to pull to Portland.
Coming in a second. And Josh, coming to you. And Josh, you're live.
And it's on the way, rising to receive. It's 10-7 right now, Gridlock, with about 5.5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Portland's been going with a three-handler set for most of the night, initiating a lot of their offense from the center of the field, trying to not get caught on the sideline, giving themselves as much space as possible to work with. A reset for Rising. Another handler reset. Players have 10 seconds to get rid of the disc once they catch it. If they fail to do so, that is an automatic turnover. A big shot down the sideline. Rising chasing it down. It just falls out of reach of the hands of number 16, Aaron Ray. New York will pick it up near the corner of their own end zone. A long way to march down the field. We'll see if Portland can get a stop here, maybe turn it around for a quick score. A big opportunity for defense here for Portland Rising. New York shoots it up their sideline. And another big shot going all the way downfield. A contested throw. That's number 29 for New York, 28 for New York, Angela Zoe holding on to it. Oh, that's number 99, Veronica colleague Sparlesis. New York once again finding themselves about 10 yards out from their own end zone, with some suffocating defense of Portland, making it just so difficult to punch it in. We've seen tough defense from both of these teams tonight. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Rising now just inches away from the end zone. Gridlock inches away. New York about 5 yards out. The disc in the center of the field. Stall count getting high. They look to get rid of it. And Gridlock scores again. That's New York's number 10, Tricia Smith, extending the lead for New York Gridlock. Right now, 10-7, Gridlock's advantage. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the third quarter of action in Portland Rising's inaugural game as part of the Premier Ultimate League. Let's take another moment to thank some of our Rising partners, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. With offices in downtown Portland, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare is a local nonprofit health services company providing health benefits plans to guide our members to better health. You can learn more information at harvardpilgrim.org. New York scoring twice in a row here in the third quarter, extending their lead, now up 4 against Portland with just about 3 minutes and 43 seconds left to play. The lights are on now as we've started to lose a little bit of daylight. Here East Coast time, it's 7:32. One of the more humid days of the summer we've seen downfield. Portland picks it up, finds some space in the middle. The big fake creating some opportunity for Portland to get a little bit of offense going up the sideline now. Portland takes a shot to the end zone, tracking it and catching it. That is number 33, Yuga Shao. Yuga Shao's had a huge offensive impact on this game so far. Another long point followed by another very comparatively short point. Just taking 3 throws downfield for Portland to get their offense going. Let's take another look at this one. That's number 15, Aaron Ray with a big flick downfield. Finding her teammate in the end zone, and all the excitement from Portland. Just think of the months of preparation that have gone into this for this Rising team. Their inaugural season, their inaugural game. None of these players, though, strangers to big spotlights in Ultimate. So many high-level college and club players making up this roster, many of them former teammates at various levels, whether that's high school or college or club. Truly a collection of some of the top Ultimate athletes that we have in the game, especially here in the New England region. New York back on offense now, working it up the sideline, just crossing midfield. Gridlock's got an 11-8 lead with about 3 minutes to play. New York moving it off the sideline, giving themselves a little bit more room to work with their offense. Gridlock now on the doorstep of their own, of the end zone, taking another shot, and that is another score and some contact there. Number 21, Linda Moore, scoring for the third time tonight. Linda Moore's the cutter and anchor of that offense for New York. One of their favorite targets in the end zone that they look to so often. Gloves of the Premier Ultimate League and Portland Rising. Go to Layout Gloves, layoutultimate.com to learn more. Layout Gloves provide unmatched grip and performance to help you up your game. See there on the replay, the tough catch made through contact from New York's Linda Morse. New York often looking to Linda Morse whenever they get close to the end zone. A big sweeping pull going just out of bounds for New York. Looks like Portland will take that one to the center of the field. At just before the center mark. Josie Gillette will start the offense for Portland. That one almost getting away. Portland keeping their offense alive, taking a shot to the end zone now. The disc floating up, drifting. Oh, and the big D for New York. That's number 5, Lindsay McKenna with a denial. Elevating up high over Portland's Caitlin Fitzgerald. New York now a long way to go to get to their scoring end zone after picking it up at their own. Ooh, a close play just toeing the line of the end zone to keep that possession alive for Gridlock. About 1:10 to play here in the third quarter. New York thinking end zone, wide open space. That's number 17, Margot Cody with the score to extend the lead for Gridlock. It's 13-8, now 14-8 Gridlock. New York extending their lead here through most of the third quarter play. Let's take a replay of this. Another look at the big throw. That was number 5, Lindsay McKenna, who had the D down at the other end to stuff Portland and stop them from scoring, then turning around, finding teammate Margot Cody in the end zone for another Gridlock score. And a reminder that this broadcast is brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream sponsor of the Premier Ultimate League. New York with the 13-8 advantage right now with about 1:03 to play in the third quarter. And here comes the pull from New York. Rising on the other end to receive. Controlled by Portland. A shot to the middle closely, just missing the hands of a New York defender. Now to the sideline. Portland finding a lot of their success with shots just like that one. The disc hanging in the air, and the big sky coming up from number 3, the captain, Kate Powers. Better known as K-Pow from her teammates for big athletic plays just like that one. That's why she's one of the leaders of this team, because she can make those big plays just when her team needs her to. It is 13-9. Portland able to take advantage of some space along that sideline. The big flick finding K-Pow in the end zone. That score pulling Portland a little bit closer. It's now a 4-point game with about 37 seconds to play in the third quarter. Still lots of ultimate on the way. New York picks up the bouncing pull from Portland. New York in their away whites, Portland in their home darks. Ooh, a sliding layout grab for New York to keep their possession alive. A reset to the handler in the middle. That's where New York wants to find a lot of their offense. A pick is called further up the field. That one may be heading back. Looks like it did not affect that play. Number 21, Linda Morse, will hold on to it for New York. And Morse looks towards the end zone. And that's her teammate, number 9, Natalie Bova. Another score for New York. And Linda Morse has made her mark on this game. She's catching them, she's throwing them. She's the offensive juggernaut powering New York right now to a 14-9 lead. Let's take a minute to thank some of our rising partners, LL Bean. The folks at LL Bean believe the more time you spend together outdoors, the better. That's why they design products like the Rising's Team Adventure Duffel Bags. They make it easier to take longer walks and have deeper talks and never worry about the weather. It's like LL Bean's founder, Leon Leonwood, always said, being outside brings out the best in us. Thank you to LL Bean for your support. We'd also like to thank Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. With offices in downtown Portland, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare is a local, not-for-profit health services company providing health benefits plans to guide our members to better health. Learn more at harvardpilgrim.org. At the end of the third quarter, it's the New York Gridlock 14, Portland Rising 9. New York extending their lead in that one. And it has been all Linda Morse in that quarter. Getting it done on defense, finding her teammates with the throws in the end zone, and pulling in a few herself. Also showing off her moves right now. And for those of you who may be new to Rising or the Premier Ultimate League, welcome. The PUL's mission is to achieve equity in the sport of Ultimate by increasing accessibility to the sport and visibility for women, transgender, intersex, non-binary, queer gender, and gender-fluid people through high-quality competition, leadership experiences, and community partnerships. The PUL strives for gender, racial, and economic diversity in the great sport of Ultimate. Some fans pumping up the crowds here as we get ready to head into the fourth quarter of action and the inaugural game for Portland Rising. Portland set to pull to New York in this one. New York a chance to extend their lead, taking over on offense here. Right now it's 14-9 with 12 minutes of Ultimate to play. And let's take one more moment to thank some of our Rising partners. Layout Ultimate Gloves are the official gloves of the PUL and Portland Rising. Layout gloves provide unmatched grip and performance to help you up your game. Grab a pair of gloves at layoutultimate.com. New York taking over on offense to kick off the fourth quarter of action here. A sweeping flick heading upfield. New York taking a shot to the end zone now. New York tracking it down. And that's number 41, Martha Gregory, pulling that one down, her second score of the night. That extends the New York Gridlock's lead to 15. Portland Rising 9 with 11 minutes and 39 seconds to play in the fourth quarter of action.
Replay is live. Replay is live. All right, we'll come back out.
Tracking that disc down in the end zone. Martha Gregory.
Josh is live. Josh is live. Good job, guys. All right, gonna come to Andrew on the line.
And you are watching this live right now on Portland Rising's YouTube channel. More games, of course, coming up next weekend as the team hosts a tournament with fellow Premier Ultimate League teams. More exciting action on the way. But right now we still have 11 minutes and 39 seconds of action at Memorial Stadium in Portland to get through. Portland Rising has strung together some fantastic offensive points. They'll have another chance to do so right now with a pull from New York on the way. Portland centers the disc to start the point. Lots of space being given right now by New York's defense. Portland's last offensive point ending in thrilling fashion with a big sky in the end zone. We'll see if they can pull off something similar here. Another look up the middle. Portland creeping towards the end zone right now. Looking to find a bit more space to get their work going. Now just 5 yards out of the end zone. Looking to punch it home. A swing around to the center that'll give them more area to make their offense work. And that's another score for Portland Rising. Number 33, Yuka Zhao, scoring for Portland Rising again tonight. She's been a big part of their offense so far. Scoring a few times tonight, finding her teammates on open cuts as well. That throw coming from number 15, Caitlin Fitzgerald. Creating some space with a big fake around and finding some room right up the middle. Right now, New York Gridlock 15, Portland Rising 10 with about 10 1/4 to go in the fourth quarter of action. We're at Memorial Stadium in Portland, Maine right now for the inaugural game of Portland Rising Ultimate, Portland, Maine's professional ultimate team.
Coming back to Josh. Josh is live.
Rising now set to pull to Gridlock. This pull coming from number 6, Chloe Roas. A good pull will put New York just on the sideline, only a few yards out from their end zone. We'll see if Portland can capitalize. New York looking for some space up the sideline. They find it as they move towards center field. Looking for the reset, stall count getting high right now. For those of you new to the game of Ultimate, the players have 10 seconds to get rid of it once they catch the disc. That one's hanging in the air, but floats just over, rising into the hands of the New York cutter. They're now on the doorstep of yet another score. They could go up 16-10 here if they're able to find the end zone. A sweeping around throw, and that one is in. That's number 28, Angela Zhu, scoring for New York. They extend their lead 16-10. And some more of our rising partners we'd like to recognize this evening. Maine Movement, a husband and wife team with a passion for health, wellness, and having fun. Maine Movement helps you stay active in whatever way you like to enjoy. To them, an active lifestyle means being pain-free and having the energy you need to reach your goals. They offer a full range of serious work, including body work, personal training, and nutrition coaching. All that spans the entire life cycle of healthy living, and their clients come from all ages and backgrounds. So if you're looking to eliminate pain, develop a training program tailored to your specific needs and goals, or just make better nutritional choices, they're here to help you. You can find more information on Maine Movement on their Instagram page, their Facebook account, and at mainmovement.com. This pull coming from New York down to Portland now. Still time to close some of this gap, especially if they can get some of those quick points like we've seen them taking some of those shots to the end zone. But certainly no need to rush things yet. A close grab for Portland. They keep their possession alive. They found a lot of their success tonight working things up the sideline, but of course keeping the disc in the middle of the field certainly does make the offense a little bit more open. Now crossing center field for Rising. A good opportunity here to look to the end zone, and they do. That one's floating up there, but the D coming from New York, that's number 7, Luisa Neves. About 9 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter of action. New York taking over on their own goal line, looking to go all the way down and extend their lead. A break side throw for New York to start things off. Now punching it up the sideline. A straight up mark from Rising trying to take away some of those bigger throws downfield. An around throw now. Number 3, Abby Chang has it. She advances it upfield to number 7, Luisa Neves. New York now closing in on their end zone. They've been able to find it 16 times tonight so far. And a shot to the opposite side. Another goal for Gridlock. That's number 1, Cammie Groom. New York's offense finding a lot of flow here in the second half after what was somewhat of a defensive struggle, maybe a combination of some strong defense and a few nerves in the inaugural game of the season. Both teams have shaken that off, and offense has really come alive to be the dominant storyline of this second half. Right now, 17-10, New York Gridlock's advantage. Portland now set to receive. It's 17-10. It's been a hard-fought game. A lot of smiles on the faces of these athletes, though. So much work has built up to this night. A season thrown a little bit off the rails by the pandemic, but the work kept going, and it's all built up to this season. And tonight's a bit of a tune-up game for them. They'll be back for some tournament play next weekend as well, also hosted right here in Portland, Maine. The 3 handlers set back for Portland now. They look to advance it up the middle, approaching midfield. Portland gets the handler reset to reset that stall count. And a shot 20 yards downfield. Right at center field now as Portland continues to make their offense move. Rising trapped on the sideline right now, but able to find some space in the middle, and then the swing around. A holster from their handlers. Oh, and the layout just missing. New York now breaking down the field, hoping for a possible quick score, but it looks like they will hold on. Oh, and the D from Portland gets it right back. Will they take the shot to the end zone here? It's a one-on-one matchup. The high release lefty backhand throw to find yet another score for Portland Rising. That's 11 on the night. And that one scored by number 11, Josie Gillette. The impressive high release backhand as well after that D. One of the more exciting points we've seen all night here, and just like that, that'll show you how quickly a point can turn around in the sport of ultimate.
Do you have any ND filters on? Andrew, you can reframe to the line for Gridlock.
And for those of you just joining us, welcome to the live stream and this presentation of the Premier Ultimate League for Portland Rising, the league's newest team based here in Portland, Maine. We're at Memorial Stadium in Portland, Maine, playing under the lights right now. It's a humid night, high 70s, certainly a lot better than it was earlier today. And an excited crowd enjoying seeing these Pro Ultimate players at the professional level to Portland, Maine for the first time. New York picks up. A shot at the sideline now. New York's offense has worked so well when they've been able to work it back to the middle and force it to the Briggs side, but a big hooking shot, and the D for Portland.
Actually, yes, coming to Andrew. Andrew's live. Live. Coming to Andrew, and coming back to Josh. Josh is live, and you can widen out, Josh.
That D coming from Captain Caitlin O'Connell to get back on offense for Rising right now, as they look to close this gap in the final 6.5 minutes of play. Rising centers back into the middle of the field.
See a few more players. Yeah.
Another handler reset, looking for some of that cutter action coming from their horizontal stack offense. And a hand block from New York to turn things over close to the end zone line. They'll shoot it towards the end zone, and that's the bookends for number 28, Angela Zhu for New York. She has made her mark all over this game tonight on offense and defense, doing it both right there to extend New York Gridlock's lead. Right now 18-11 with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in this Premier Ultimate League action. The impressive hands here. Watch as Portland tries to look for the around throw, stuffs the opponent, and then breaks right to the end zone for the easy score. New York's offense looking well calibrated tonight. Lots of great connections between these athletes.
Josh is live. Great job, Andrew, getting the D.
And remember, this broadcast is brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream sponsor of the Premier Ultimate League. Portland to pick up on offense now, 11-18. New York's advantage. The layout to keep the possession alive from Portland's number 5, K. Cole, Catherine Cole. Portland swings all the way to the other side of the field. Oh, and the big D, stuffing Portland at center field from New York. Gridlock will take over from here. Gridlock looking for the handler reset now. They find it, and they shoot to the end zone with the momentum, finding a wide open cutter deep in the back corner. That's number 12 and New York's captain, Amy Zoe. Amy Zoe, another player who's had her fingerprints all over this game so far. We'd like to thank some of our rising partners tonight. Portland Stage Company, Portland Stage, Maine's largest fully professional nonprofit theater, and their 7-show main stage season is on sale now to subscribers today. For the month of August, Portland Stage invites you to join the Johnny Cash musical, The Ring of Fire, in collaboration with the Maine State Theater, shown in downtown Portland. People aged 35 and under are invited to join Rush 35 free of charge for monthly parties to meet fellow theater enthusiasts with $15 tickets to shows to its main stage season. Portland Stage is a proud supporter of Portland Rising and its commitment and vision to honor the whole person and desire to elevate our community together. Learn more at portlandstage.org. Portland back on offense now as we hear the excited crowd at Memorial Stadium chanting, "We Rise," the battle cry of the newest team here in the Premier Ultimate League in Portland, Maine. Portland looking to get some more offense going. The high release flick, moving it upfield. Portland's got a lot of space right now, thinking end zone, but holstering. Towing the line, keeping it just in bounds is Portland. Looking for some of those cuts. There's one, but it falls just out of reach of number 42, Lizzie Laurie. Laurie, one of the more veteran players on this team, a storied career at the college and club level. New York swings it back to the center. Just about 20 yards out from their own end zone. A long way to go to score, but already finding a lot of momentum, moving that disc up the field very quickly. And now an outside-in look floating up to the end zone. But the big D, and oh my goodness, an absolutely incredible layout off the D from New York's number 5, Lindsey McKenna. Finding the end zone yet again is McKenna. The full extension layout to find the score. It is now 20-11, New York Gridlock over Portland Rising. And everyone on New York's sideline coming over to give McKenna a high five after that one. An absolutely incredible play, hustling through the contact, not giving up on the disc. That disc hanging up there for a long time. Multiple Rising defenders made contact with it, but she would not be denied. Another one of our Rising partners this evening is Beyond Strength. Beyond Strength is Rising's home gym and Maine's premier physical fitness center, offering everything from athletic training to injury and rehab and boot camps and more. Thank you to Beyond Strength. Portland picking up on the pole now, looking to close the gap with about 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter of action in their inaugural game as members of the Premier Ultimate League. This is professional Ultimate being played here in Portland, Maine, something these players have been looking to for so long. Their inaugural season cut short before it even started by the COVID-19 pandemic, but so much work going on behind the scenes from the players, coaches, training staff, team organizers, and owners. And a positive play on the field now. Stahl will be coming in at 2 here. Number 19, Olivia Hampton's got it. And a turnover for Portland. New York picks up, looking to go the other way and extend their lead.
Still live, sorry. You're good. Coming to Josh. Josh, you're live.
New York looking for a reset to the middle. And a turnover again. Portland has a chance to capitalize now. Portland streaking down the field. And they'll look to take advantage. The disc hanging just short of the end zone. Oh, the full extension falling just short of the cutting Rising player. Number 44, Adele Pitsis, just missing it off the fingertips, but an incredible effort. New York back on offense now. A layout D, but a foul called. And to those of you new to the sport of Ultimate, this is exactly how it works. It is a self-officiated game. These players have the opportunity to work things out themselves. And if they can't agree on a play like this, it is called a contested foul. It essentially amounts to a mulligan, a do-over. The disc goes back to the person who originally threw it, and it's somewhat of a reset. And after that play, we'll have a timeout called. Both teams looking to catch their breath a little bit, recalibrate their offense and defense after a few turns on this possession. Let's take another moment to thank some of our Rising partners like Kalo. Kalo is a full-spectrum, water-soluble, health-infused seltzer. No impurities, preservatives, artificial flavors, or filters, harnessing the full power of the hemp plant to bring you 8 carefully crafted flavors that taste good, feel good, and are good for you. Thank you to Kalo for supporting professional Ultimate here in the state of Maine. Also, thank you to designer Ebenezer Acalpo, using traditional designs from the Ghanaian heritage to piece together incredible art that also carry personal and cultural power to promote social justice. Ebenezer has a custom rising design featuring some symbols of endurance and perseverance. You can check them out at the gorgeous water bottles at the Rising merch tent if you are coming to some of these games, and see more of Ebenezer's work at akakpo.com. Once again, that's akakpo.com. Your story, wear it. All right, the disc tapped back in here in Portland, Maine, as Rising takes on New York Gridlock. And New York taking a shot downfield right now towards the end zone, tracking it and finding it in the end zone. That's New York's #1, Cami Groom, scoring for the 3rd time tonight. That one looking like a design play off of the timeout for New York. They stretch their lead to 10. 21-11, New York's advantage here on the inaugural game of Portland Rising. That disc placed just perfectly in the front corner of the end zone. About a minute and a half left to play here at Memorial Stadium in this presentation of the Premier Ultimate League. And a reminder that this broadcast is brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream sponsor of the Premier Ultimate League, with 12 teams coast to coast. York's pull coming down to Portland now. Rising looking to put more points up on the board with about 2 minutes left to play in the 4th quarter. Portland with the disc in the center of the field right now, advancing it up to one of their cutters. Oh, and a big attempt at the layout for Rising, falling just short. That's number 14, Hannah Baranis, just missing it off the fingertips. The sliding catch now for number 3 for New York, Abby Chang, as they advance it up the sideline. These players competing on a turf field tonight. I think that one may be heading back, a pick called before that throw was made. The players talking things out now. Looks like that pick happened after the throw was made, meaning the defender gets to catch up, but New York keeps the disc where they caught it. Portland bites hard on the fake. New York swinging it back closer to the center of the field. That's where they've been able to do a lot of the damage of their offense tonight. That flick gets away from New York, though. Portland's now got a chance to capitalize. A cutter streaking down the field. Portland opting for patience here. Oh, and a big grab for Rising as they keep it alive. Now working it up the sideline. Looking to center that disc back towards the middle of the field now. The continuation throw. Number 42, Lizzie Laurie, advancing up the sideline. 24 seconds left to play in this game. A call coming which should stop the clock at about 18 seconds. Portland calls the timeout here with 24 seconds left on the clock. New York Gridlock lead 21-11 here in the inaugural game of Portland Rising. One of our Rising partners tonight, Sawyer Island Consulting. Sawyer Island Consulting has a passion for people and impactful relationships. They engage with their partners through guidance, investment, and collaboration. Portland Rising and their mission to work through partnership within the community to dream big and rise together is a perfect example of the talented, inspiring entrepreneurs they love to work with. Their current focus on projects in Maine also include Kalo, Summit Spring Water, and Opportunity Box. Thank you to Sawyer Island Consulting. And this live stream brought to you by Spin Ultimate. This game, a great tune-up opportunity for Rising as they get ready to host tournament play next weekend. their inaugural game. So much work going into making it happen. And 11 points on the board for a group of athletes who have not gotten to play much Ultimate together, mainly because of the struggles brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. We've seen some fantastic things out of this team tonight, and a lot of growth still set to come. All right, right now, number 42 for Portland, Lizzie Laurie will pick up the disc and look to find the end zone. Right now, it's with number 5, Catherine Cole. Now Laurie has it, swings it to the sideline, looked off on the strike cut, and another violation called with 12 seconds left on the clock. The disc tapped back in. The high release lefty backhand. Portland now on the doorstep. 5 seconds left, and they find the score with just seconds left on the clock. Take another look at that play there. After the impressive high release lefty backhand. Number 26, Rachel Westgate, able to find her teammate, number 14, Hannah Barenis, for the score. Portland has now put 12 points on the board in their very first matchup here as a member of the Premier Ultimate League. Portland Rising tonight being coached by Annie Lightbody and Courtney Veralen, as well as Will Neff. The coaching staff doing such a fantastic job in what has been a very long extended preseason for Rising, but they've certainly made the most of it. Time expiring on the clock, that disc floating up and out of the air, and that will be it. Game number 1 in the books, a tune-up match for Portland Rising. This one ending 21-12 in favor of New York Gridlock. Fantastic takeaways up and down the board for Rising in this one, on the field and off the field. Here at Memorial Stadium, a large crowd of Ultimate fans and community members coming together to check out the very first matchup of Professional Ultimate in Portland, Maine. And next weekend, we'll be right back here in Portland hosting some tournament play with other teams in the Premier Ultimate League. A new chapter now opens, and at least the first sentence of it written, for Portland Rising Ultimate. And we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. This live stream has been brought to you by Spin Ultimate, the official live stream sponsor of the Premier Ultimate League. The final score, New York Gridlock 21, Portland Rising 12. We'll see you back here next week.